We've all been there. That nagging feeling in the back of our minds telling us to start that task, to finish that project. Yet we find ourselves drawn to distractions, to anything but the work at hand. The allure of social media, the comfort of binge watching our favorite shows, or even the sudden urge to clean the entire house. Anything seems more appealing than the task we need to complete. This, my friends, is the curse of procrastination. It's a universal struggle, a common enemy that whispers sweet nothings of ease and delay. It tells us that there's always more time, that we can always do it later. We tell ourselves we work better under pressure, that we'll find the motivation tomorrow. But as the deadlines loom closer, the stress mounts and the quality of our work often suffers. But deep down, we know these are just excuses, justifications for our inaction. We recognize the cycle, yet feel powerless to break free from it. Procrastination isn't about laziness. It's a complex interplay of emotions, habits, and perceptions. It's often rooted in fear of failure, fear of success, or even fear of the unknown. It's a battle fought within the trenches of our minds, a tug of war between what we know we should do and what we feel like doing. The mental load can be exhausting, leaving us feeling drained before we've even begun. We may start the day with the best intentions, armed with to-do lists and a can-do attitude. We plan meticulously, hoping that this time things will be different. But as the hours tick by, the allure of procrastination grows stronger, its siren song lulling us into a state of inertia. But there's hope. We can learn to recognize the signs and take proactive steps to counteract them. You can break free from this cycle. It starts with small, manageable changes, setting realistic goals, breaking tasks into smaller steps, and celebrating small victories along the way. By understanding the root causes of procrastination and arming ourselves with the right tools and strategies, we can regain control of our time, our productivity, and ultimately, our lives. Techniques like time blocking, prioritizing tasks, and creating a conducive work environment can make a significant difference. This isn't about becoming a productivity robot, devoid of joy or spontaneity. It's about making time for what truly matters, both in work and in life. It's about finding a sustainable rhythm, a balance between work and rest, where procrastination no longer holds us hostage. Mindfulness and self-compassion play crucial roles in this journey. It's time to face our procrastination head-on, to understand its insidious nature, and develop the skills to overcome it. Self-reflection and journaling can help us identify patterns and triggers. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. A life of greater purpose, fulfillment, and achievement. Embrace the process, and you'll find that overcoming procrastination is not just about getting things done, but about living a more intentional and satisfying life. At its core, procrastination often stems from a place of fear. This fear can be deeply rooted in our psyche, sometimes going back to childhood experiences or societal pressures that have shaped our perception of success and failure. We fear failure, the weight of expectations, the judgment of others, or even the possibility of success itself. These fears can be paralyzing, making it difficult to take the first step towards our goals. This fear can manifest as anxiety, a knot of tension that tightens its grip with each passing moment we avoid the task at hand. The more we delay, the more this anxiety grows, feeding off our inaction. We convince ourselves that we're not ready, not good enough, not prepared to face the potential consequences of our actions. Then comes the overwhelm. This feeling of being overwhelmed can be so intense that it clouds our judgment and makes even simple tasks seem insurmountable. We look at the sheer magnitude of the task before us and our minds start to spiral. The more we think about it, the larger and more daunting it becomes, creating a vicious cycle of avoidance and stress. The to-do list seems to grow longer with each passing hour, the finish line a distant mirage shimmering in the desert of our despair. Each unchecked item feels like a personal failure, adding to our sense of inadequacy. We feel paralyzed, unable to take that crucial first step. This paralysis can be so overwhelming that it feels like we're stuck in quicksand, sinking deeper with every moment of inaction. This feeling of overwhelm can be exacerbated by perfectionism, the insidious belief that everything we do must be flawless. Perfectionism sets an unattainable standard, making it impossible to start or complete tasks because nothing ever feels good enough. We set unrealistic standards for ourselves, and when we inevitably fall short, we feel a sense of defeat. fueling the cycle of procrastination. This self-defeating mindset can be incredibly hard to break as it feeds on our deepest insecurities. We become trapped in a vicious cycle of avoidance, our fear and anxiety feeding off each other, driving us further into the clutches of procrastination. The more we avoid, the more our fear and anxiety grow, creating a self-perpetuating loop. Breaking free from this cycle requires a shift in perspective. We need to change the way we view our tasks and ourselves, to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to our self-worth. We need to acknowledge our fears, to sit with the discomfort they evoke without letting them dictate our actions. By facing our fears head-on, we can begin to dismantle the power they hold over us. We need to embrace the imperfection that comes with being human, to celebrate progress over perfection. Each small step forward is a victory, and by recognizing and celebrating these small wins, we can build momentum and break free from the cycle of procrastination. Emotions play a powerful role in procrastination. When we feel overwhelmed, stressed, or anxious, our natural instinct is to seek comfort and escape. We turn to distractions, to instant gratification, to anything that will numb the discomfort we're feeling. Procrastination in this sense becomes a coping mechanism, a way to manage our emotional state. But here's the catch. While procrastination may provide temporary relief, it ultimately exacerbates the negative emotions we're trying to avoid. The guilt, the shame, the weight of unfinished tasks, these emotions only amplify our stress and anxiety, creating a vicious cycle. To break free from this emotional roller coaster, we need to develop a healthier relationship with our emotions. This means acknowledging our feelings without judgment, recognizing them as signals rather than dictators. It means learning to sit with discomfort, to resist the urge to immediately numb or escape it. Mindfulness practices such as meditation or deep breathing exercises can be incredibly helpful in developing this emotional resilience. These practices train our minds to observe our thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. By cultivating a sense of presence and awareness, we can start to make more conscious choices about how we respond to our emotions. Positive habits are your path to productivity. They are the building blocks that pave the way to achieving your goals and dreams. The key to overcoming procrastination lies in building positive habits. These habits help us break free from the chains of delay and inaction. Habits are the small decisions we make and the actions we take each day, often without conscious thought. They become second nature, guiding our daily routines. They shape our lives in profound ways, influencing our productivity, our health, our relationships, and ultimately our happiness. Every small habit contributes to the bigger picture of our lives. When we cultivate positive habits, we create a framework for success. This framework supports us in achieving our long-term goals and aspirations. Instead of relying on willpower or motivation, which can fluctuate from day to day, we rely on the power of routine. Routines provide stability and consistency. Habits automate our behavior, making it easier to do the things that are good for us even when we don't feel like it. They remove the need for constant decision-making. Building positive habits takes time and effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. The journey may be challenging, but the outcome is worth every bit of effort. It's like planting a seed and nurturing it with care and attention. Each small action contributes to the growth of something beautiful. At first, you may not see much progress, but with consistency and perseverance, that seed will sprout, grow, and eventually blossom into a beautiful, thriving plant. Patience is key. So, how do we build positive habits? It starts with a clear vision and a commitment to change. It starts with identifying the small actions that will move us closer to our goals. These actions should be specific, measurable, and achievable. Instead of trying to overhaul our entire lives overnight, we focus on making incremental changes one step at a time. Small steps lead to big transformations. We set realistic goals, break them down into smaller, more manageable steps, and track our progress along the way. Celebrating small wins keeps us motivated and on track. Action over perfection. The first step is the key. One of the biggest obstacles to overcoming procrastination is the pursuit of perfection. We get so caught up in wanting to do everything perfectly that we end up doing nothing at all. We tell ourselves that we need the perfect plan, the perfect time, the perfect circumstances before we can even begin. But here's the truth. Perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target that we'll never truly hit, and the longer we chase it, the further we'll fall behind. The key is to embrace imperfection, to accept that mistakes are an inevitable part of the process. It's about progress, not perfection. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, we need to take action, even if it's imperfect action. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. Once we take that first step, the momentum will start to build and we'll find it easier to keep moving forward. So, what's the one small step you can take today to move closer to your goals? What's the one task you've been putting off that you can finally tackle? Don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Take action and watch as the magic unfolds.